Yes. Then I did a thing a few weeks ago where I got to take my bike out on a racetrack.
What? How fast did you go?
On the back straight, I got up to 105.
How was that?
That reached my capability. Not the bikes. The bike had way more in it. I just didn't. But they have professional instructors there to watch you, and
Yeah.
it's all about throttle control and braking control and body position. It was great. I learned a lot. And
How fast were you taking the turns?
depending on the turn, anywhere from 35 to 70.
Ugh. More power to you. All right, let's do it.
Thank you.
No problem.
You know that Palmer has a whole motorsport park?
Good evening and welcome to our September 13th Board of Selectmen meeting. I ask we please rise and pledge our allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll start with the reading of the agenda. We will go over our August 30th meeting minutes, and then we'll move on to community relations, announcements, and open forums. We have one item under appointments and resignations, an appointment of an administrative and field assistant to the Conservation Commission and Recreation Committees. For scheduled appointments, we have three. At 6:40, we have the pinning of Assistant Chief Knopf. At 6:45, we have a scheduled appointment with John McFlesh from Bay Path about a Lead Silver Award. At 7 o'clock, we have a meeting with Keith Arsenal about the auction of town properties. We have two items under new business. We have one, a special one-day license request from Christy Callahan for a wedding. And our second item is also a special one-day license request from Jessica Murray for a wedding. Under old business, we have the special town meeting warrant, where we will be considering draft warrant requests and closing the warrant. Then we'll move on to committee reports and policy reviews, followed by the town administrator's report and any other business unknown at the time of posting. Our next meeting will be on September 27th. Then we'll go into executive session. So with that, what is the board's wishes with our August 30th meeting minutes?
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Cooper?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Move to a vote on the motion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion passes. Thank you. And we'll read the announcements. The Open Space and Recreation Committee is in the process of updating its open space and recreation plan. Your participation in the planning process is very important to developing a plan that meets the needs of the Charlton residents. The survey will take about 5 minutes to complete and can be accessed at townofcharlton.net homepage. Paper copies of the survey can be picked up and returned at the Charlton Town Hall, the Charlton Library Circulation Desk, and the Charlton Senior Center. There will be a Charlton Flu Clinic Thursday, October 6th from 10:30 to 12 o'clock p.m. at the Charlton Senior Center. Please make sure to have all your insurance cards with you. No insurance? No problem. Nobody will be refused a flu shot. There'll be a Household Hazardous Waste Day on Saturday, September 24th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Costello Waste Service Facilities on 165 Barefoot Road in Southbridge. The annual Forestry Chapter 61, 61A, B, and C renewals are due by October 1st. There'll be a special town meeting on October 18th at 7 p.m. at the Charlton Middle School. The Charlton Fire Department would like to remind everyone to have their heating appliances cleaned before the heating season starts. It will not only ensure your system is safe, but can save you money throughout the heating season as well. It's an announcement from the Community Development Advisory Committee. The Board of Selectmen seek volunteers to help guide community development activities in Charlton. Members will provide input to town staff and their partners as they evaluate community needs, gather public input, update development strategies, and seek resources to implement specific projects. Projects supported through the community development efforts may include housing rehabilitation, public facilities improvements, infrastructure upgrades including water, sewer, drainage, and roads, social services, engineering and planning projects, and many others. Meetings will be held approximately every 3 to 6 weeks during the annual grant cycle, which is September through January, and every 3 to 4 months during other seasons. Applicants interested may submit letters to Charlton Board of Selectmen at 37 Main Street, Charlton, Mass. Does anyone else have any other announcements? Anyone here for open forum? Please state your name and address for the records.
Hello, Jimmy Falzone, 18 Denfield Road in Charlton here. I'm here, I was hoping Jerry would be here to ask some questions about the Gulfwood Road closing and what's the status. I haven't heard anything in months, and trying to get an update.
Ms. Graver?
We had him scheduled for this week, but he has about 4 or 5 different things he's gonna be reporting on. So he did ask if he could come at the next meeting. So in 2 weeks, he'll be here with an update on that. And he's always open to having any residents give him a call.
Okay, do you have anything for us? Because 4 months was the last time we got anything from Jerry, 4 months ago. And that's when they drilled the boreholes to do the tests, talk about the guardrails, but, and the last thing he told me that Southridge is supposedly be taking care of the beaver problem. Doesn't look like they're doing anything. Can you elaborate on that?
I cannot. The board had asked him to come. He's gonna come in 2 weeks, and he'll be giving the board and myself an update.
So you don't have anything for us?
I'm sorry.
Come on, really? It's been how many months? And, I mean, the residents of Denfield Road and Southbridge, it's been over a year now. I mean, the roads are getting really bad. I mean, the traffic, I mean, it's great that you put up the signs, but still, it's frustrating. It is. And it's very disappointing to see that the town, we were hoping would do a lot more, but we don't see anything being done.
My understanding is that he is working on it, and he'll have that information in 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I didn't know you were coming tonight, or I would
Well,
have
we saw
prepared
on
a
the
little
agenda
better.
on the web that it said road projects, so
Right. And it pulled.
Gulfport Road's been on the project for a year now, and fortunately, nothing's being done about it. All right, well, I guess that's it, and just Denfield Road and Southbridge just voicing concerns that were disappointing and nothing's really getting done about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else here for open forum? Seeing none, we will move on to our first scheduled appointment for our 640 for the pinning of assistant. Actually, we'll go over appointments and resignations. An appointment for administrative and field assistant for the Conservation Commission and Recreation. Ms. Graver?
Yes, sir. Todd Gerard, our conservation agent, and myself held interviews for the position of administrative assistant and field assistant for the Conservation and Recreation Commissions. 9 applications were received. Out of those 9, we interviewed 5 candidates, and it is our recommendation that the board appoint Rose Conway of Charlton, Mass. To this position. This position is for 15 hours per week and $19 per hour. And Todd is here as well as Rose, so that we can introduce you. She's been a resident of Charlton for 15 years, and we're very happy that she's had an interest in serving with us. Do you have any questions? Do you want to introduce Rose?
Mr. Selectman, not Mr. Selectman, all the selectmen. This is gonna be my new administrative assistant, also field assistant, Rose. I really look forward to getting my office caught up to speed with all the office-type stuff. As we know, I'm a great field person, not so great as an office person. So I think as a team, we're really gonna move conservation and recreation into a more proficient manner and develop a new plan and a better service, an improved service already for the town of Charlton.
Sounds good. What are the wishes of the board then?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Swenson?
I move that we appoint Rose Conway of Charlton to the position of administrative and field assistant for conservation and recreation.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Chair votes aye. Motion passes. Welcome aboard, Ms. Conway.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with Rose in establishing a really awesome recreation and conservation department for the town of Charlton. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, very nice. Thank you very much. Very excited to be here. Congratulations. Appreciate it.
And if anyone's seen his office, good luck, Rose.
Yes, if you're smiling in a week. We may want to move it closer.
Alright, and now we'll move on to our 6:40 appointment, the pinning of Assistant Chief Knopf. Ms. Graver?
Yes, sir. We have been asked by Fire Chief Cloutier for time on the agenda for the official pinning of Assistant Chief Knopf and new employee Ben Romano. And we've scheduled that for 6:40. Chief?
Thank you. Chief?
Well, thank you for seeing us again. It seems like deja vu all over again, as they say. Tonight we do have Ben Romano, who is our newest firefighter to join the force. He's a gentleman out of Spencer, Massachusetts. So he's coming over to us to fill into Mike Mahan's spot, where Assistant Chief Mahan is retired. So Assistant Chief Mahan couldn't be here tonight. He's on a cruise and enjoying his retirement already. So
Didn't waste any time, did he?
no, he did not. No. So I guess cruisesaretheus.com, you can get right on there. So, what I'd like to do tonight, like we have in the past, is have firefighter Romano come up, and he's being pinned by his mom, Mrs. Romano, which is great. And we'll do that ceremony at this point, if that's okay.
Terrific.
Come on up,
Good
Ben.
boy.
And next this evening, we have Assistant Chief Knopf coming up, and likewise, when Assistant Chief Mahan left the department, left us a vacancy in that role. So he has now come in, and like we announced 2 weeks ago that he made the appointment, and now he's coming in. We're basically going to do the pinning officially today for him as well. So we could not have the town clerk do the official swearing in. She had another commitment tonight, so so we'll be putting that off till basically they can get those done during the daytime, anytime, which is good. So tonight, Assistant Chief Knopf will be pinned by his son Eddie, and I think it's appropriate to see even the family membership that we have in our community and also in our department goes all the way down even to our firefighters as well. So we'll announce having Assistant Chief Knopf come on up with his son.
Oh,
Thank you again, I appreciate your time, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
I like these part of our meetings. Mr. Swanson?
Just a couple of quick words, if I could. Then Captain Knopf was instrumental.
I don't think you want to leave the room
Yeah,
yet.
hold on just a second. Whoa.
We need to talk about you.
All right, if you want to leave, I'll say what I was really going to say.
That I'm used to.
Yeah. Then Captain Knopf played an instrumental role in writing the grant that secured the funding for the new ladder truck we have in town. And he also wrote the grant for the SAFER grant, which is going to help staff the fire department for the next couple of years. So he's been a huge asset to the town, and I just want to say thank you for your service and congratulations, and I think it's well deserved. And the other thing I want to say is I think it's a great testament to the camaraderie and brotherhood in the fire department to have such a great turnout for the pinnings. So thank you all for the work and services that you give the town.
And don't be afraid to come around more often.
If I could also continue just on that vein for a moment about singing his praises. He's also gone through the chief's certification process, so he has done the training. You know, we have good leadership coming in that are very proactive in making sure that they're ready for that job when and if it's available. So I really commend him for his advanced studies, and we hope you stay a long time. Thank you.
And with that, we'll move on to our 6:45 appointment with Superintendent LaFleche for the Lead Silver Award. Ms. Craver?
Sorry, I'm over here all emotional. Okay. Southern Worcester County Regional Vocational School District Superintendent John LaFleche is here to discuss the letter concerning the Lead Silver Award, and I'm not going to frame it because I'm going to leave that for you.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's a pleasure to be here while the fire department was adding staff, because before I get into the Green Award, I do want to mention publicly, and I did this when we did our grand opening some months ago, but the town of Charlton, and especially your public safety officials and Kurt over in the building department, were instrumental in allowing us to have such a successful building program up on the hill. We really could not have done that. I know 3 years ago I came to you and we spoke about fees and so forth, but I assure you that the Bay Path community got more than what we paid for in terms of fees, with professional help, timely help, and even now we're going through some issues, and anytime we need the fire, the police, or Kurt, they're there in a minute. So I wanted to start with that and certainly add congratulations to the folks who made it this evening. Tonight I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our LEED certificate. As you know, the building project contained many environmentally sound practices, and we applied for LEED certification, which was also instrumental in allowing us to get approximately $1.2 million in funding that we didn't need to borrow for the project. So I'd like to read a letter, and then certainly we can talk a little more. I'm pleased to inform the Charlton Board of Selectmen that Bay Path Regional Vocational Technical High School earned a LEED Silver certification as a result of its recent completed addition renovation project. The Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design Silver Award recognizes that Bay Path is designed, constructed, operated, and maintained for improved environmental and health performance. The project employed many strategies to achieve the LEED Silver status, including the facts that more than 95% of the existing building structure was reused, including walls, floors, and roof. More than 20% of the building materials are made of recycled content. Nearly 30% of building materials were extracted and manufactured within 500 miles of the school. 65% of the wood-based building materials are from forests, which are sustainably managed and are Forest Stewardship Council certified. Over 90% of the construction waste was either recycled or reused. Energy savings are estimated to be 26.36% better than a comparative baseline code-compliant school. Improved indoor air quality, acoustical performance, and ventilation was achieved. We used low and no VOC, volatile organic compound, emitting floor paints, composite wood products, adhesives, and sealants. And with the soon-to-be water line that's going to come by the school, we're very happy to say we reduced our water usage in the building by 32.4% through implementation of low-flow fixtures and water-efficient landscaping. The school, its students, and district residents will benefit from the many environmental and energy-friendly features of the building. In addition, the district received a 2% funding bonus from the MSBA, which was used to reduce the amount of locally funded bonding requested to complete the $73 million project. There can be no doubt that the newly renovated high school is environmentally friendly and energy efficient. We will all benefit from lowered operating costs over the life of the school while doing our part to protect the world we all enjoy. I have tonight a lead certificate for the chair on behalf of Bay Path to the entire town. Thank you. Thank you. And I do want to add a couple of things. One is, I know that next month the townspeople will be considering adopting the stretch code in town, as well as trying to become a green community. And the work that we've done at Bay Path has proven to me that although there are some added costs at the beginning of a project, they are far outweighed by the energy savings and, of course, the environmental benefit of making the building green. We added 50,000 square feet at Bay Path, and I hope if you haven't had a chance to come up, just call us. I had a group of 20 Red Hat women with me yesterday, and we enjoyed a nice tour of the building. But even though we've added that 50,000 square feet, our electric bill has not gone up.
Wow.
So, and I was very skeptical at first, or concerned how we could do that, and that has proven to be the case. And of course, the comfort of the building has been improved, and the lighting. We did, as you know, when you go out to bid in the public sector, sometimes you have alternative bids. We had all LED lighting as an alternative bid because we didn't know whether we'd have the money in the budget. And we've spent $88,000 on all of that lighting throughout that 250,000 square foot facility, and it's definitely paying off. So again, I hope you understand my level of appreciation for this town and the work that all of your folks have done on our behalf to make that an outstanding facility.
Once again, thank you so much from our board for this, the hours and hours of work that you and the school committee has put into this, and the building committee. That it's a real achievement. Just amazing. Just that jewel on Market Hill continues to shine even better. It's just thank you again for all.
Well, you're welcome, and we appreciate it.
Mr. Swenson?
Yeah, I would just echo a couple of things you said, and you took exactly what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. You sit in the middle, you get to do that. Just congratulations to everyone who's involved in the project. It was a great project, excuse me, from beginning to end. And as we sit up here, we look at many things. Jewels in the crown was the term I was gonna use that make Charlton the town it is. And Bay Path is certainly right up there. It's a great asset for the town. We're proud to have everyone here. We're proud to have the facility here, and it is a big part of what makes Charlton the great community that it is. So thank you.
You're welcome, and the feeling is mutual.
If I also may add something.
Ms. Craven?
As Superintendent LaFleche had brought up around the green communities, we'll be talking about the stretch code later as we talk about this, the warrant. We held a meeting with our schools, with Dudley Charlton School District and Bay Path, to have a conversation about, as we move forward with the Green Communities Act, would they want to be involved? I'm happy to say that Bay Path is interested and has said, although they may not reap much of the benefits because they have successfully done so well within their building with energy efficiency, the savings that they've received over the last 2 years will help the town in gaining points and meeting the criteria that we'll need under the green communities. And as you know, that is money that we townspeople pay in. We receive no benefit.
Right.
So until we become a green communities, we're kind of throwing our money to the other communities that do this. I believe I was told that if we become a green communities, we will receive about $160,000, and we have certain things we need to meet in criteria, and that money would be used to continue to upgrade the municipal buildings in town, the other municipal buildings, and also in the long run, because my understanding is that this is a long-term program, that as Bay Path's savings and they need to replace some of their things, we may be able to use some of those monies to put back into Bay Path when the time is needed.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up, Ms. Craver. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Superintendent LaFleche, thank you so much again. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Really appreciate, it really is a partnership. So
Thank you. And you'll be receiving in the mail an invitation. We're having a ribbon cutting.
another one?
In October. In the machine tool technology program, we're adding $500,000 of equipment through grants.
Wow.
And so come and have some coffee with us that morning. But you'll get that in the mail.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll move on to our 7 o'clock, mostly on time appointment with Treasurer Keith Arsenal for an auction of town property. Ms. Craver?
Yes, Treasurer Arsenault is here with our auctioneer, Paul Zakos, to explain the upcoming town auction of properties. And the attached list is for your information. You do have that list.
Mr. Chairman and Board of Selectmen, thank you for meeting with us this evening. This is Paul Zakos, a well-known auctioneer who has represented many communities in Massachusetts over the years, quite successfully, I would like to add. And when I was in West Brookfield, we had a great auction about 10 years ago. I'm going to turn it over to Paul, say a few things. And one of the reasons why we wanted to meet with you tonight was to get the information about the auction out so people start recognizing we're having one. And hopefully the local press will ask some questions and give us a little press on that too. So this is Paul Zakos.
Great, thank you. Good evening. As Keith said, this has been a process that's been ongoing for an extended period of time under his direction. I'm Paul Zekas. I run a company in central Massachusetts, the Zekas Group Auctioneers, and we have a division committed to the sale of assets for municipalities. It's called Municipal Auction Strategies. We've worked with about 80 cities and towns, including Charlton many years back, and we are located in central Massachusetts, but we work across the entire Commonwealth. We also do work for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Central Mass Regional Planning Commission. So we come to Charlton, to this Board of Selectmen's meeting after many months of analysis and lots of hard work, and both Robin and Rick, I've had the opportunity to meet you previously. I know everybody else has afforded us the opportunity to participate and to ensure that this is a very open, public, and professional process. So let's explain to the folks at home so everyone's really clear about how this works. When individuals do not pay their taxes, there is a very lengthy land court process. And that process takes an extended period of time. And ultimately, when judgment issues in favor of the town from land court, title to the property vests in the community, and it becomes town-owned property. So many people often misperceive that the sale is subject to back taxes, and it isn't subject to back taxes at all. It's very different from a traditional mortgagee's foreclosure sale. Title vests in the property becomes town-owned property. Mass General Laws outlines the method of sale for that property to be public auction. You as a community determined to move forward, in this case under the direction of your very competent town treasurer, Keith Arsenault, overseeing this project with a public auction. So you've kind of taken it to the next step where we're going to do some marketing, advertising, and promotion. We're putting the finishing touches on a website, which will be made live by end of day this Friday to time in with some of the advertisements that will start both in the Charlton Villager, the New England Real Estate Journal, the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, and other publications. We'll also do direct mail on the upcoming auction. The auction will be held October 6th here at Town Hall. That is a Thursday. It's going to be at 12 noon. Bidder registration will commence at 11:30. And individuals will need to bring with them a deposit check to qualify to bid. So that deposit check needs to be in certified or bank treasurers or cashiers funds. No personal checks, no business checks are accepted. Those deposits, depending on the property that they have an interest in, will be either $5,000 or $2,500. They will provide us with that deposit amount, and they will then be qualified to participate in the auction. In the event that they are unsuccessful, their deposits are immediately returned to them. In the event that they're successful, that deposit is used towards the purchase price of the acquisition. So it's a very straightforward process. And we have tried to work diligently on the front side to remove trepidation. So we want people at home to really take an interest in this. It's a unique circumstance. Communities do not do this annually or even on an ongoing basis. It's as properties become available. And in this case, we're offering 15 parcels. We've concentrated primarily on 5 of the premier sites. One of those is on Potter Village Road. That is an 11.68 acre site. And again, to avoid trepidation, to give those prospective buyers a level of comfort, we have gone out of our way to put an opinion letter out there indicating that the site meets the requirements for residential development. And in addition, the town has taken the initiative to even do a perk test on this site as an example. So that's good information and good data that gives a potential buyer the level of comfort they need to hopefully engage in some spirited competition. So moving down the list of properties is a piece on Sandersdale Road, also known as Saundersdale. That one, again, having an opinion and a perk result. That site being 13 acres. We have a 3.67 acre site on A. Young Road. We have a parcel that's a little bit smaller over on Highland Avenue, but that does have public sewer there, so that's certainly a benefit for that site. I won't list all of the properties in their entirety, but for those individuals that do have an interest in potentially making an acquisition, be they individuals in the community here who want to know if this is a property near them and might want to acquire it because it's a contiguous or abutting property. For individuals who are builders or developers or looking to make an acquisition to build their dream home, we have it right here. And we have multiple opportunities for those prospects. So there's more than one bite at the apple here. And you've got to be in it to win it. So we urge people who might have an interest to visit the website. It's zgauctions.com, Z as in zebra, G as in giraffe, auctions with an S.com. They'll be able to click on the Charlton banner to access that information. Again, that should be live by end of day Friday. And right there at their fingertips will be the perk results that we talked about, the opinion letter, a map, a field card, an aerial view, and an actual image of the property as well. So we've gone to great lengths to compile data that is easily accessible for prospective buyers. So this is really a great way to purchase property. It is, again, unlike the foreclosure, the traditional bank foreclosure that we spoke about. This foreclosure process is complete. The town is passing clear title, and some of these properties will even be offered absolute, which in our industry means that the properties will be sold absolutely regardless of price. This ensures people that they are going to have a fair and level playing field to participate at a level that they're comfortable with. And both Keith and Robin have worked hard to ensure that this sale is a transparent sale. We want to encourage competition in an open and public and professional forum, and that's what we're going to do. And obviously the goals of this are, A, to recover as much one-time revenue as we possibly can for the community. 2, to restore these properties to the tax rolls so they begin to generate revenue on an annual basis once again. And 3, hoping that people will invest in these sites, whether to build a home, making it a vibrant part of the community, or to acquire one of these sites and make it part of the existing property, an expansion of the current property that they have now. So we welcome the public's participation, and we urge those folks at home to take the initiative to investigate this, as it is a good opportunity, and these opportunities are few and far between.
Thank you, Mrs. Zekas. Does anyone have any questions?
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Cooper?
I'm wondering if those sites which are not absolute have a minimum bid, is that information also available on the website?
It would not be. That would be something that we would not urge you to do, as it's inappropriate in our opinion. Typically, these sales are conducted through the tax possession custodian, and that is the individual who's appointed for the care, custody, and control of the assets, and that individual will make the determination at the time of sale. We want to ensure that we generate a fair amount of revenue, realizing that this is not subject to the traditional contingencies, right? People are putting up a deposit. It's not subject to an inspection of any kind. It's not subject to financing, so they have to take that leap of faith. That's why we're providing them as much information on the front side as we possibly can. But these are decisions that are made, up to and including at the auction on an ongoing basis. And we could have a property that we might want to get $10,000 for, but we had another property that we wanted to get $10,000 for, and that went for $40,000. So at that point, we're happy to sell the next one for whatever the level of competition is. It's the people in that room that will truly determine the value of the assets. And I want to make it very clear to people, we have the expectation of ensuring the sale of virtually every property in this lineup with 15 properties there. So they ought to get to this room on October 6th, again, Thursday, October 6th at noontime.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I do just want
Ms. Graber?
to, through the chair, to thank Keith and Paul, and especially Keith, on the work that he's done. As you know, you've asked us to do this about a year ago, and we've been working on getting it ready. I know it's been timely. He oversaw and worked with the Board of Health in getting the perk test done at the recommendation of Paul. And I think we have a good product, and a lot of information for the potential buyers. So I think the process has been very good.
I would like to add that a number of other departments have helped with the gathering of information, getting the perk test schedule and stuff. So those other departments deserve credit too.
Once again, thank you for all your work. Thank you for all to all the other departments. And thank you for coming out tonight.
Absolutely, and if I could say, and to echo Keith's point, we work with many different communities, so it's nice when individuals at Town Hall can come together and embrace a project and work collaboratively to ultimately accomplish common goals. So we had a shared vision initially. To Robin's point, these things take time. Keith, you're a very patient man. Getting the pieces of the puzzle here together is a lot of work. It's one thing to sell one or two of these properties, but to ensure the accuracy of all the data that's out there, and you're now, up to about 15 of these, it's a lot of work, time, energy, and effort, and it wouldn't happen without the diligent efforts of all the folks at Town Hall. So hats off, and we hope to see some energetic bidding on October 6th, and we welcome people to grossly overpay for property they don't need and feel really good about it.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Graver, just make sure, that's something we can advertise on the website, correct?
It certainly will be. And just before Keith leaves, I'd like to remind you that I have appointed him as our interim town collector. As you know, Virginia, who is our assistant, will be going out for personal leave, and we appreciate that Keith has agreed to step into that position. But thank you very much.
Oh, sure, it will be, Keith.
Yeah.
But we should note his enthusiasm. He's dressed in all green, the color of money.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, folks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. And with that, we'll move on to new business. We have a special one-day license request from Christy Callahan for a wedding. Ms. Graver?
Yes, sir. Attached is a request from Christy Callahan for a special one-day liquor license for the wine and malt beverages to be used on Saturday, November 5th, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Jocelyn Center at 150 Richardson Corner Road for her wedding. This request has been approved by the building commissioner, fire department, and police department. Per the board's policy, the license, if approved, should be issued for 2 additional days for the following reasons. Day 1, to allow delivery of alcohol to establishment, which there'll be no sales allowed. Day 2, for the sale on the approved date and time as listed. And Day 3, to allow for pickup of any unused alcohol. And again, there will be no sales allowed. I would recommend the board approve the special license as requested with the dates on the license to be from November 4th to November 6th.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, motion and second, any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote on the motion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you. And now we'll move on to our second special one-day license request for Jessica Murray for a wedding.
Yes, sir, attached is a request from Jessica Murray for a special one-day liquor license for wine and malt beverages to be used on Saturday, October 1st from 12:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Jocelyn Center, 150 Richardson Corner Road for her wedding. This has been a request, this request has been approved by the building commissioner, fire department, and police department. Per the board's policy, and as we've just discussed, the license should be approved. If approved, should be issued for 2 additional days for the following reasons. The first day to allow the alcohol delivery to the establishment where no sales will be allowed. Day 2 for the sale on the approved date and time. And Day 3 to allow for the pickup of any unused alcohol. I would recommend the board approve the special license as requested with the dates on the license to be September 30th through October 2nd.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you. Everyone's getting married, so nice.
Yes.
And now we'll move on to old business for the special town meeting warrant. Ms. Graver?
Yes, sir, here you go. As you know, the special town meeting calendar was approved at your meeting on August 30th. Tonight, you're scheduled to consider the draft special town meeting warrant request and close the special town meeting warrant. Please find the following warrant articles proposed for the special town meeting. Article 1, appropriation of funds for unpaid bills of a prior fiscal year. As you know, some of these are standard, and
Housekeeping.
right, every year you will see them come back. So, Article 1, 2, 3, 4 are all standard. So Article 2 is the intra-departmental transfers and/or budget appropriations for FY17 budget, which is the budget we're in now. Article 3 is capital items and related contracts. Article 4 is to transfer to and from stabilization funds. Article 5 is the reauthorization of capital debt. Article 6 is amendment to town personnel bylaw classification plan, which is adding the human resources director. Article 7 is acceptance of the stretch energy code, and that is one of our requirements, as you know, to become a green community. Article 8, land lease for a cell tower at the police station. Article 9 is a land transfer for Ash Road. What that is when we had done an auction, we had put a restriction on that property so that when they bought it, it could only become part of their property and could not be resold. They're selling, and the abutter on the other side would like to purchase it to have it part of his property, so we need to go back and amend the restriction. Article 10 is to rescind the sexual offender bylaw. There has been some cases now where, and we have confirmed this with town council, that our bylaw is in effect illegal. I think the chief has actually come and talked to, and unenforceable, and the chief has come and talked to us about this. We've not put it on the agenda for the town meeting to rescind, and at this time, we're recommending to do that. Article 11 is road acceptance, Jennings Road Extension. I had a conversation with Mr. Jennings today. He needs to provide us all of the information by the end of the week, so we'll be able to advertise, and you'll be able to complete the road layout. If you're not able to complete the road layout, this will come off. So there is a placeholder there. Article 12, 13, and 14 are zoning changes, and these are submitted by the planning board, and they will provide those articles. One of them, as discussed at your earlier EDC meeting, is a revision of the zoning map and the creation of a new zone. And then two of the zoning bylaw revisions have to do with water sewer, and they have been requested by Water and Sewer, and the planning board has decided to move them forward for them. So you were scheduled also to consider capital requests and forward those recommendations to the Finance Committee, but as free cash has not been certified, I do not have a recommendation for you at this time. Hopefully, we'll have that for your next meeting. The Finance Committee is scheduled to meet in 2 weeks, Wednesday, September 28th, where they will review the financial requests. Since you are scheduled to close the warrant tonight, I request that you include the list of draft warrant articles and placeholders pending the confirmation of all needed language and review by Finance Committee, the Finance Committee, and as well as Town Council and myself. So things are changing. And at your next meeting, I should have most of the language ready for you. And I do believe you have a draft warrant that I've started attached there. So,
Thank you.
you're
Also,
welcome.
one thing we discussed also during our EDC meeting for our general meeting about including a placeholder for the municipal gas.
Correct. And would you like me to do that?
Yes, would you need, that'll be included in the motion.
So on number 15?
Yes, please.
Actually, that will come up above the zoning.
Yep.
So we will move that up, and I will reorganize the
Yep.
article numbers.
So then we need a motion to close the warrant.
So move.
Second.
Okay, your motion second to close the warrant. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, chair votes aye. The motion passes and the warrant is now closed,
Thank you.
including the new article as well.
Okay.
Ms. Scriver, do we need to take any more actions on the warrant?
No, sir, not at this time. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll get you more information. Hopefully, will have more information. As you know, to get the warrant posted, what the official warrant does is notify the residents as to what you'll be discussing.
Right.
And then in the motions, which we will continue to work on right up until town meeting, will be the things that will be included in, say, the transfers, in the interdepartmental transfers, or the capital improvement plan.
Of course. Thank you very much. Thank you for your
You're
hard work
welcome.
on this, and, you know, I can't believe it's already a special town meeting again.
I already have my file going for annual town meeting, which, and just in case people are watching that have been following the Government Study Committee, as you know, there were several recommendations that you've included in your goals and objectives, but my understanding is that you've made a request to hold those until the annual. So those would include the changing the constables from elected to appointed, and some other changes that we'll make. So those types of things I'm holding off until the annual town meeting.
Right. Mr. Swenson?
One thing that I mentioned at the goals and objectives meeting is I think we're doing the town a disservice by calling this a special town meeting. We have it every year. There's nothing special about it. It's just a part of our doing business. So I would like to propose that we changed our fall special town election to our semi-annual
And
town election. Will that be on
actually,
it?
that's one of the ones I have on my list, because I believe the discussion in your goals and objectives were anything that was significantly changing the structure you really wanted to have
Yeah,
done
that's
at
fine.
an annual.
Right, that's fine, as long as it's.
Yeah,
we
it just,
have
you
it on
know,
the list.
it's every year, it's not that special.
It's not that
I mean,
special.
every town meeting is special to me, but,
Yes.
yes. Great, thank you.
And one of the differences between an annual and a special, of having two annuals, it only takes 10 signatures to put a warrant article on. So it's very
Really easy.
advantageous to your residents.
Thank you. I didn't realize that. That's good information.
Okay, any other discussion on the soon to be no longer called special town meeting? Seeing none, we'll move on to committee reports. Does anyone have any committee reports? Policy reviews? Then we'll move on to the town administrator's report. Ms. Craver?
ABCC notice of hearing. We have been notified by the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission that they will be holding a hearing on Tuesday, November 15th, at 2:30 at their offices on Sri Somath Incorporated. They're doing business as Country Farms for permitting an illegally on-premise sale, to wit, sale and delivery of an alcoholic beverage to a person under 21 years of age. The date of the violation was Wednesday, May 25th at approximately 6:15. I will let you know the outcome of that hearing, and you can let me know if you would like to have them come before you also. Thank you for your letter from Southbridge. Attached is a letter from Ron San Angelo, the town manager, thanking the town for our assistance in fighting fires on Sunday, August 28th. Our fire department came to the mutual aid of Southbridge Fire Department for a 6-alarm structure fire on Main Street and later on Benefit Street. Because of all the hard work of all involved, they were able to keep the fires contained to the primary sites with no loss of life involved. South Charlton Reservoir Association, attached is a letter from the South Charlton Reservoir Association that they will be initiating a drawdown of South Charlton Reservoir on October 9th. The drawdown will be at a rate of 2 to 4 inches per day until a level of 4 to 5 feet below the spillway is achieved. The water will be maintained at that level until a hard freeze or January 1st and then return to its normal level. I have not had an opportunity to talk with Todd. I am going to check in with him on, because of the drought conditions, on whether or not there would be any impact because of those conditions. So I will send forward that request to him.
Thank you.
Highway update on roads, bridges in Chapter 90. Highway Superintendent Jerry Foskis will be attending your next meeting on September 27th to update you on road work, bridges, Chapter 90 monies, as well as Gulfwood Road. Interim town collector, as you know, town collector Lucia Blanchette retired, and assistant town collector Virginia Porter will be going on a personal leave. I have appointed town treasurer Keith Arsenault as our interim town collector until such time that the position of the town collector is filled, and as I had said earlier today. So we're very happy that he's agreed to take that. And if you would allow me, one more. I got an email today that I just thought was really nice, and if you don't mind,
nice email?
I'd like to read it to you.
I don't believe it.
It is from a woman who's been dealing with the town hall. She's out of an attorney's office out of Southbridge, Patricia Knorr. And she says, Mrs. Craver, I'm writing just to let you know that you have outstanding staff in the various departments of your town hall. I have had the pleasure of dealing with the collector's office on numerous occasions, and they have been so polite and helpful, and I know they are extremely busy, but they always help me when I need them. The building inspector's office staff is another great department. Mr. Philbrook in the health department is such a gentleman whom I have known for a long time and is always willing to help in any way he can. You are very lucky to have him. Kara that works for you is another extremely intelligent person whom I have also known for a very long time. I just can't tell you enough what an exceptional town hall you run. Thank you. Sincerely, Patty. And I just thought that was really nice, and I did forward it to those staff members so that they could also see the accolades.
You know, some of the hardest working people
We do.
that I know, so, you know, it's good that, you know, they get some praise and recognition for, you know, how much effort they actually put in.
Correct.
So it was good news. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions for the town administrator? Yeah, all those people in our audience right now. Is there any other business unknown at the time of posting? Seeing none, I'll entertain the wishes of going into executive session.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Cooper.
I make a motion we enter into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Number 1, to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health rather than professional competence of an individual, or discuss the discipline or dismissal of or complaints or charges against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual, specifically possibility of injured on duty approval. If the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body.
Thank you. The motion
Second.
and a second, and the chair does declare that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. Ms. Cooper?
Aye.
Mr. Swenson?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We are now in executive session. We'll be exiting executive session solely for the purpose of adjournment, and our next regular meeting will be on September 27th. With that, have a great night.